Takip edenler bilirler, uzman nöropsikolog Alptekin Aydın'ın kişiselleştirilmiş TMS tedavisiyle günden güne iyileşen otizmli çocukların ailelerinden önemli açıklamaları ekranlara getirmeye devam ediyoruz. Bu hafta NHS çalışanı Barbara programımızın konuğu oldu. Otizm hastası oğlu Daniel aldığı tedavi sonrasında inanılmaz bir ilerleme kaydetmiş. Hem okul hem de doktorlar bu değişimi fark etmişler. Siz de otizmle mücadele etmeye çalışan bir ebeveynseniz mutlaka Kuzey Londra Enfield bölgesinde bulunan Cosmos Healthcare Kliniğine ulaşabilirsiniz. Uzman nöropsikolog Alptekin Aydın'ın Enfield Town'da bulunan kliniğine geldik efendim. Yanımızda Barbara var. Kendisinin 6 yaşında oğlu Daniel'la ilgili hem TMS tedavisi öncesi ve sonrası yaşadığı değişiklikleri konuşacağız tabii efendim. Hi Barbara, can you please introduce yourself first?
Yes, my name is Barbara. I am Danny's mum. He's been having treatment here with the clinic. We've known Danny was born 3 months premature, so he's had a bit of a developmental delay, but he's caught up with everything now. But the issue that we still have with him is that he doesn't speak, and so because of that, we found him a special school to go to. He had an EHCP, Education Healthcare Plan, issued by the council, and that means that he can get additional help. So because of the fact that he has this EHCP, he was able to go to this special school. And there are different grades of special schools here. There are schools where they just have like a play environment for children that aren't able to engage in learning. And there's a next step up, which is a special school where they do learning. So they will have children that have maybe high functioning autism, ADHD and other issues like that, but they do have the ability to learn. So this is the school that my son goes to. So he was in reception. He started in September last year, but by the time he got to April, they decided, just based on assessing him over the year, that they felt that he wasn't fit for the school and that he should go to the school which is one level below. And we obviously wanted him to continue in that learning environment and felt that he did have the ability to learn. So this then became a bit of a struggle for us. And on the day when they pretty much told us that they wanted him to leave the school, we were broken because we just didn't know where to go, where to turn. So that evening, I went to my local fish and chip shop, and when I went there, the owner there, my brother, he told me, he asked me, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you looking so sad?" So I explained to him what happened, and when I told him, he said that his brother's wife's sister has also had treatment in a clinic because she wasn't talking. And now she is talking and she has a headset. So I looked at him in shock because I thought, I've not heard of anything like that. How is it possible that a child isn't speaking and then all of a sudden they are? Because I'm not aware of anything like this being available on the NHS. So then he gave me that lady's his cousin's phone number, and I spoke to her that evening for 2 hours. It was quite late. We spoke till about, I think it was 11 o'clock in the evening. And I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. For me, it was a miracle because there was nothing available to treat my son. He's not diagnosed as autistic, but this is the route that they felt that we were going to be going down in terms of his diagnosis. So there's on the NHS there's nothing, and so to find out that there was some treatment available, we were just elated. So happy. And so we then contacted the clinic and got Danny's QEEG done. And after that we had treatment from early July till mid-August. That was the first session of treatment. And then we've had the 3-month waiting period and then started treatment again after we'd had his second QEEG. And I can say to you that there is quite a difference in Danny. think, if I'm correct, he had 4 areas of his brain that were switched off. They were in delta, and they've moved a step up now. And Dr. Aydın said that you wouldn't have noticed much difference, but my husband and I watch Danny like a hawk. So everything that he does, we notice changes in him. We've noticed changes. So he's so much more aware than he was before. When we go to restaurants now, he's calmer. Otherwise, we'd sit down and he would run. He wouldn't want to peacefully just kind of sit down and eat with us. He is able now to ride a bike. He wasn't able to do that before. We had a scooter. He would expect us to just for him to stand on the scooter and for us to drag him. Now he understands you put one foot on the scooter board and you use the other foot to move. In addition to that, he never used to clap. But now when he watches videos on YouTube, like if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, he knows and he claps his hand. And he'd never done that before in his life, and he is now 6 years old, and imagine that's the first time he's clapped. So all of this change in him is a miracle for me. And I'm so grateful to have found Dr. Aydın and this clinic, because otherwise on the NHS there's nothing.
The first time when they came to us, obviously, we do a QG brain scan. This is a functional brain scanning, and we want to see all the functions, both psychological and motor functions, to how they are working. And we mostly give 15-20 minutes information to the family, reading the map, explaining the problems. Because normally if you go to NHS, they diagnose, they look at the children and they give some tasks to do, and then they do evaluation quickly, and there's no treatment. They can obviously refer to you speech therapies, or any kind of floor timing and other behavioral therapies, but it's not a treatment. It's just for them to hope that they can improve. In our treatment, we first analyze the brain to get a QEEG brain scan, but this is a very deep analysis, so we don't need to even talk to you, or we don't need to even see the children. We can talk through the map, brain scan, and tell you what it is, what the problems are, what they can do, what they can't do. So this is a very advanced process, and after this process, we decided to do TMS. TMS has been approved in the UK since 2015. It has been approved in the world, in the US, 2008. In the UK, obviously, it is over 18 years old, 16 or 18 years old adults, but they are not included, the children. Despite they are giving an information, it is not giving any harm. It is the same as the adults and the children, but because of the availability, because of lack of practitioners and lack of machines, they were just actually keep it in the adult section rather than children. So with the consent of the family, we can do that. So once the family consent that they can accept the TMS treatment, we can apply the treatment according to their QG brain scan. And in our case, Daniel obviously has lots of delta. Delta is a very sleeping function. You would expect to see it when you are asleep, but not when you are awake. So our QEG done when he is awake and his eyes open, we wouldn't expect to see, we don't want to see too much delta. But obviously the more delta waves you see, that you understand that these functions are not working. And after the 30 session of TMS, I can see his functions, 4 functions are jumped to the next level where it is theta. It is still like a mediation wave, it's like a light sleep. Still, you wouldn't see too much difference between delta and theta, but the family informed us they see a lot of difference. So this means some of his functions is also go to a bit of alpha as well, between theta and alpha. So in alpha you would see like bit of a awake and sleeping mode. So you can see some functions going up and then stop again. It does something and then stop again, but it means it's starting to work. So that's what we want to see. But in Daniel's case, we'll see a lot of good functions and important functions like his awareness, like his speech, like his learning starts to get higher. So the more activation we have from these areas, obviously we have more reaction from him, and obviously these reactions reflect to his life. his family life and his educational life.
And also, Barbara, I know that you work with NHS. You had this treatment. Have you had any issues, or what else changed in your life also?
Well, since starting the treatment, I mean, in terms of Danny, things have improved for him. They're not 100% yet, but we know this is a long road and it will take time. But when we told his school that please can he stay there and that he will be up to standard because we found a treatment for him, the school decided to report us to social services. Because they were concerned, social services came to our house. They stayed for 3 hours one evening just asking us many questions, many personal questions, just to confirm or to find out what we're like as parents and whether we would do any harm to our son, and to find out whether there was a child protection issue. And they contacted my daughter's school, who has nothing to do with the clinic or anything, to make sure everything was okay with her school and with us as parents. They also contacted the GP to find out about Danny and whether he was going to all the appointments that were being offered by the NHS. But obviously they found nothing wrong. So over a 2-month period, it was quite stressful for us because obviously if social services are involved, you're concerned about the fact that they might want to take your children away if they deem it that you're not good parents, and there is a child protection issue. But fortunately for us, once the social services gentleman did his checking, he discovered that there is no issue. We showed him photographs of Danny having the treatment done. He had his iPad in front of him, he had the paddle on his head, and he was absolutely fine. So he just closed the case, having spoken to his manager and said that there wasn't a child protection issue. So this is one of the things that we've had to face, but which was stressful, but fortunately it was recognised that this isn't an invasive treatment. There's no needles, there's no nothing. It's stimulation through the paddle, and ultimately we're glad we took this decision because we can see a difference in him. He's improving. We've got a long way to go, but he's improving, and that's all that matters to us.
Neuromodulation is very new if you look at the history here. It has been over 20-25 years. So obviously we wouldn't expect social services or even some GPs know a lot of information about TMS. It's a non-invasive treatment and it has been approved in anxieties and depression. And those kids have anxiety and depression from the beginning. So it will be wise to look into it more deeper in a way of the NHS, because they have the system. And if we look at the patients so far, we have treated over 3,000 children. So in this perspective, I can see there is a lot of issue here that NHS needs to be involved more and understand further that TMS can help them. With the availability of their machines, hospitals, as long as they understand what we've been doing so far, I think they can apply this in general overall the UK. So our aim is to help them, to give more information, to share the information, but obviously they will need more practitioners, they will need people to deeply analyze, neuroscientists to deeply analyze the maps, and these are all resources that they need, very high qualification resources, and obviously they are lack of it. So as a private clinic we try to offer this service, but as much as we try to do this together, then it will spread all around the UK and it helps more and more families every day.
There's just one other thing I wanted to add. Children that have special needs, they end up going to special schools, and because they have additional needs, as part of the education healthcare plan, they grade it at different levels. For children that have small issues, they give the schools, I think about, depending on the grade, about £15,000 to £16,000 a year. But if the school is a special school, they demand more money because they've got to do more work for those children. So that can end up being about £45,000 a year that they have to give to the school. As part of going to a special school, the council has to give schools an additional amount of money through the education healthcare plan that each child has. So if a child goes to like a mainstream school, they give them £15,000 to £16,000 a year. If they go to a special school, depending on the level that it is and the amount of help or care they're providing, they can give them up to about £45,000 a year. And to my mind, that money is just being spent now in keeping those children in that state. Whereas if they could spend that money on a clinic that could help children with ADHD or autism, that could in time help them to improve, and so maybe move them from a special school to mainstream, and in time reduce the amount of money that they need to spend on special schools, and put money where they need to use their resources better. To my mind, I mean, it's a very simplistic way of looking at things, but I honestly do think that this is something that the government in the UK needs to think about.
Thank you very much. Aileyi dinlediniz. Tabii ki konuyla ilgili daha detaylı bilgi almak istiyorsanız Alptekin Aydın ve kliniğine ulaşabilirsiniz diyelim. Çok teşekkür ederim. Hocam siz son olarak buradan bizi izleyenlere bir şeyler söylemek ister misiniz Türkçe?
Her ülkede, İngiltere dahil, kendi ülkesinin içinde ailelerimiz gerek otizm gerek özel gereksinimle ilgili sorunlar yaşıyor. Dolayısıyla buradan hem Türkiye'deki devletimize de sesleniyorum. Aynı şekilde zaten İngilizce yayınımızı da yaptık. İngiltere'deki Sağlık Bakanlığı'na da seslendik. Bu tedavinin son derece büyük bir faydası var. Çocuklar çok büyük ilerlemeler gösteriyor. Bu tedavinin özelden çıkıp devletin verdiği hizmetlerin altına girmesi gerekiyor ki daha çok aileye ulaşalım, daha çok çocuğumuza yardım edelim. Ben bu konuda en baştan beri her zaman söylediğim gibi her noktasında devletle işbirliğine varım. Her türlü şekilde desteğe varım. Yeter ki bu tedavimizi dünyanın her yerinde çocuklarımıza ulaştırabilelim.
Şimdi hocam son olarak da şununla ilgili bir şeyler söylemek ister misiniz? Özellikle Barbara'nın söylediği şeylerle alakalı. Hem sosyal servisin devreye girip sonrasında bakıp herhangi bir sıkıntı olmadığını bildirmesi. Onun dışında da biraz önce bahsettiği İngiltere hükümetinin, belediyenin eğitime ihtiyaç duyan çocuklar için ayırdığı bütçenin bu tarafa aktarılması noktasında yaptığı açıklama gibi.
Biz tabii özel bir kliniğiz. Sosyal servis İngiltere'de oldukça korumacı. Çocukların korumasız olduğunu ve çocuklar herhangi bir risk altına almaktan son derece kaçınan ve her şeyi çok dikkatli inceleyen bir kurum. Bizim yaptığımız tedavide bilinen bir tedavi olmadığı için önce ne olduğunu anlamaya çalıştılar ama hem ben de konuştum. Onlar bu tedavinin bir zarar vermeyeceğini anladılar ve aileye okey verdiler ama tabii bu süreçte aile çok gerildi. Korkutucu bir süreç oldu. Bunun dışında da bahsettiği okul çocuklar için ciddi bir bütçeyle para harcıyor ama bu para benim de gözümde boşa gidiyor. Çünkü çocuklar olduğu yerde sayıyor. Yani hani sadece çocuklara işte konuşma terapisi verilsin, floor time verilsin, işte onu yapsın, onu yapsın. Yani bir takım etkinlikler var ama bu etkinliklerle çocuk daha iyi olmuyor. Sadece orada vakit harcıyor. Barbara'nın da söylediği bu 40-45 bin pound bir bütçeden bahsediyor çocuk başına. Yani bu bütçenin bir kısmını böyle bir tedaviye ayırsalar en azından çocukta gelişmenin olacağını söylüyor. Kendi yaptıkları gibi ve bizim yaptığımız tedavideki gibi. Yani son derece mantıklı ama işte bizim mantığımızla hani bu böyle olsa dediğimiz şey için büyük bir sistem var. O sistemin içinde o çarkların dönmesi, birbirini tetiklemesi ve bu noktaya gelmesi gerekiyor. İnşallah olur.